Welcome to another episode of Who Would Win, a show that completely ignores anything important happening in the world and instead focuses on a fictional battle between characters from the worlds of comics, sci-fi, and fantasy. I'm your host, James Gavsie, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only Eric Holmes. In today's episode of I can't believe we're doing this. I don't know, our production team kind of outdid themselves, not gonna lie. In today's episode of Who Would Win, Marvel's brilliant armored monarch faces animation's most dangerous super genius in a battle of science, strategy, and reality-breaking ingenuity. Whoever wrote that is absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
In one corner, rep by Eric Holmes, it's Dr. freaking Doom, the iron-fisted ruler of Latveria, whose unmatched fusion of super science and dark sorcery has allowed him to battle gods, conquer worlds, steal the power of cosmic beings, and stand among the most dangerous minds the Marvel Universe has ever known. I love Dr. Doom. He's so good. That's so awesome. And in the other corner, here we go, rep by me.
Let's go.
It's Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, the dimension-hopping super genius whose impossible inventions, interdimensional portal gun, cybernetic enhancements, and limitless scientific ingenuity, by the way, and a horrible drinking problem, have allowed him to outsmart galactic empires, conquer impossible odds, and survive some of the most absurdly dangerous situations in the multiverse. As usual, I ran the patented Who Would Win Google test, and this dream matchup has definitely been argued online in the most ridiculous, not too family-friendly way, but it has been debated. But again, it's not got the who would win treatment. People haven't gone back and forth and tried to really figure out who would win this fight. So it had to happen, and I'm so happy it's happening today. Eric, I gotta know, what are your thoughts on today's matchup?
It's hilarious. This is wild. I am representing Dr. Doom, but freaking Rick, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so fun fact, I met Mr. Poopy Butthole. Is his name?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
By
the way, I have met the voice actor for Mr. Poopy Butthole, and
is this a real person?
It's a real person voicing this character.
All right.
And here's the thing: he was awesome, really cool guy, and. I've met some of the actors for Rick and Morty, and you kind of understand why they're able to do what they do when you talk to these people. They're brilliant, they're geniuses, they're amazing at what they
Hilarious.
do. And it's just something's going on. I don't understand the formula, but it works. All right. Eric, what are we supposed to do with this episode? I try to take every character seriously. I don't know if I can.
We're going to battle.
Yeah. Okay, we're just going to do this.
Do this battle justice.
Okay, all right. Let's see what our judge has to say. Because
thank you for being here with us, Judge Tadeo.
Oh my God, Judge Tadeo. Thanks for introducing the judge, by the way. So coming all the way from Beverly Hills, where he is the unofficial, hopefully soon official mayor of, and the unofficial, yet hopefully soon to be official representative of all things related to Erewhon.
Yes.
It's the one. It's the only. It's the genius himself. It is Judge Tadeo. Judge Tadeo, welcome to Who Would Win. What do you think of today's matchup?
Well, first of all, I'm excited to be here, but I mean, this is mind-bending, perplexing. Like, I've seen Dr. Doom, but when you think of Rick Sanchez and anybody who has as a sidekick or friend, Mr. Poopy Pants, my head is spinning. Like, this is more mind-bending than what Dr. Doom does. The fact that somebody has a buddy or a sidekick with that name.
Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Mr. Poopy, excuse me, I stand corrected. Mr. Poopy Butthole. There's levels to this insanity.
Levels. Yeah, you're right.
And I thought Dr. Doom could bend my mind, but my mind is twisted. I'm trying to... I don't want to envision what this guy looks like.
No.
But I'm just thanks. But I'm really excited about just having some fun and kicking back and traveling to crazy universes.
Let's go.
I mean, this is what this battle's all about. All right, I'm just going to apologize to the Legion of Audience right now.
Someone had to do it.
We had to do it, and I think the production team came to us, and I remember them saying, like, okay, so we have to figure out between Eric and me who's repping Rick Sanchez, who's repping Dr. Doom, and I started thinking about it, and before I had a choice, Eric was like, I got Dr. Doom, and I'm like, wait, hold on. And then I'm like, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, yes, whatever. Yeah, just jump on the.
But you have a fun side.
I do. I love Rick Sanchez, but I'm a huge Dr. Doom fanatic, and especially what happened with Black Panther in 2011 in that series with Shadow Physics. That's how well I know Dr. Doom. By the way, you're welcome.
He got receipts, people.
That's right. All right. Okay, let's just see what's about to happen. But before we get into today's battle, we got to go over the rules of a who would win match. Now, each debater will make 3 points. Keep in mind that who would win match is a random encounter in a neutral location with no prior knowledge and no prep time allowed. The debater has to stay within the confines of the character. And when it comes to determining the winner, it's the judge who has the final say and will determine which character lost based on death, incapacitation, or battlefield removal with no outside interference allowed. Remember, the bottom line in a who would win match is that for one side to get the win, their opponent must be incapacitated for a minimum of 2 minutes where they pose no threat whatsoever. And before we get started, we need to thank our sponsor yet again. It's Comic Crusaders. Look, if you love comics, pop culture, and real conversations, you got to check out Comic Crusaders. From indie legends on the rise to industry heavy hitters, Comic Crusaders pulls back the curtain and takes you inside and behind the stories. Now, Comic Crusaders are created by a good friend of mine, an absolutely amazing human being, Al Mega, one of the greatest minds in geek culture who does interviews, reviews, reactions, and straight up has a passion for the culture like no one else. And here's the best part. Comic Crusaders have been doing this for 20 years strong. That's not hype, that's legacy. So if you want to discover your next favorite comic, meet the creators before they blow up and when they've made it, or just vibe with a community that actually loves this culture, go to comiccrusaders.com. That's comiccrusaders.com. And now let's get to the tail of the tape for both of our combatants. Eric, please give us the details for Dr. Doom.
Let's kick it off. So long before he became the iron-fisted ruler of Latveria, Victor von Doom was a brilliant young inventor, by the way, driven by a desire to unlock the secrets of science and magic. Dr. Doom.
I like how you're making this so pleasant. It's like,
pleasant.
You know, it's like romper room.
We
and
have
Dr.
to keep
Doom.
it pleasant story, not
That's
because it's
right.
going to get wild, right? so born into hardship and haunted by the loss of his parents, Doom became obsessed with gaining the power necessary to protect himself from ever being powerless again. After a failed experiment left his face scarred, his pride and ambition only intensified, combining unparalleled scientific genius with mastery of the mystic arts. Doom forged his iconic suit of armor, really cool suit, and declared himself the sovereign of Latveria. Though often viewed as one of Marvel's greatest villains, Doom sees himself as humanity's rightful savior, a man whose intellect, willpower, and vision make him uniquely qualified to rule the world.
Well done. All right, and here are the details.
Yes.
Here we go for Rick freaking Sanchez. Now, before he became the most feared scientist in the multiverse, Rick Sanchez was simply a brilliant human whose intellect would eventually outgrow the limits of any one universe. Rejecting governments, institutions, and even the laws of physics themselves, Rick devoted his life to scientific discovery without regard for convention or consequence. Armed with an unmatched genius and an endless arsenal of impossible inventions, he travels the infinite multiverse alongside his grandson Morty, because that's what you do, encountering alien civilizations, alternate realities, cosmic beings, and threats capable of destroying existence itself. Beneath his sarcastic exterior lies a deeply complicated man whose brilliance is matched only by his self-destructive tendencies and occasional flashes of genuine compassion. By the way, wrap that all on with a horribly, very disgusting and highly ineffective drinking problem.
Yes.
Yeah, that's and by the way, that's the fun part of Rick Sanchez. All right. And now you have the facts on both opponents today. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Yeah, what is Sanchez's preferred drink? Are we going martinis, beer? He's brewski. What kind of drinks this guy
His
drinking?
preferred drink is cocaine.
Oh, he's out there.
Oh, he's out there.
Oh, okay. I'm liking this guy already.
This is a partier.
Okay,
Drinking this stuff.
I'm liking this guy already.
Yeah. Oh, you're liking this guy.
Okay,
Interesting.
so-
Sorry, kids at home
I know.
and families listening to us
He's
in the
never
drive.
touched this stuff.
I know, but I like hearing
I don't
if
know what's
people do
happening
it.
outside of everyone.
Right,
Is all I'm
exactly.
saying. Beverly Hills is
So
this
we
guy's
got
a great guy,
we got
okay.
brains versus brains,
yeah.
and both of them are a little demented. Sometimes they say evil geniuses, when you're a genius, you're usually evil. I guess this is the case in this battle.
You know what's funny is you're not wrong, and the more demented of the two, and this is weird, is Dr. Doom in terms of like who will go to what lengths to achieve their objective. Dr. Doom will go there. Rick Sanchez will be like, I don't think I can. Anyway, I don't want to give away too much. I'm just saying
okay,
I know too much about both these characters, and it's just absolutely insane. All right, we got to get this party started. Eric, hit us with your point number one.
So I got to get into Doom's raw power abilities and versatility. Victor Von Doom's the name, isn't just one of Marvel's greatest scientists. He's also one of its greatest sorcerers. That combination is what separates him from nearly every other genius in fiction. Most characters master either technology or magic, but Doom has mastered both seamlessly, and he combines both of them in combat. So Doom's armor is far more than a powered armor. It incorporates nearly the best force fields, energy absorption systems, molecular manipulation, fight, He has flight, time travel, advanced life support, EMP resistance, extremely powerful energy projection. He has that mystical enhancements layered over every technological system. His defenses routinely withstand attacks from beings operating at godlike levels. Throughout Marvel history, Doom has fought Thor, Hulk, Silver Surfer, Sentry, Hyperion, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, goes on and on, entire Avengers teams, even the Fantastic Four, and he repeatedly survives battles that would instantly kill virtually any human, especially Rick Sanchez. So, Secret Wars, some examples. The Secret Wars in 1984, Doom steals the Beyonder's power and briefly becomes one of the most powerful beings in existence. Triumph and Torment. Doctor Strange himself acknowledges Doom as one of Earth's greatest sorcerers. Books of Doom. Doom masters forbidden magic while simultaneously continuing his scientific pursuits. Also, Fantastic Four, number 258. Doom survives direct confrontation with Galactus after carefully orchestrating his strategy. So in closing, Rick has incredible inventions, some crazy, his little bag of inventions. But Doom has spent decades fighting characters whose technology bends reality while also combating literal gods, demons, and cosmic entities. Rick has never consistently demonstrated offensive output capable of rapidly breaking through Doom's layered magical and technological defenses. And all that, James, is my point number one.
You know, you're making a lot of sense to why Dr. Doom would beat Rick Sanchez.
Let's go.
And that's why Rick Sanchez is going to win. Because he does stuff that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Right.
And he figures out how to do it scientifically. And then all of a sudden he just does it. He figured out the mathematical equation for heaven for anyone who like believed in Vikings. Just to be that specific. And he's like, oh, got it. It's just, and he explains it in perfect scientific language. And then he can get people to go to Viking heaven so that even when they're there, they die, they just get reincarnated back to Viking. It's just this weird thing.
He's wild.
It doesn't make sense, but he's like, if he can, the great thing about Rick Sanchez, if he can understand or see it in his mind, he can then work backwards to make it happen. So he's fighting Dr. Doom. He'll see it in his mind. I got to defeat this guy. He'll work backwards to make it happen.
He'll try to make it happen.
He'll try to make it happen. That is the weirdest thing. So the one thing we'll say about Dr. Doom has an ego. He has a big ego. And that is something that Reed Richards and other scientific geniuses have Black Panther take advantage of. They play to his ego a lot and get him to like overcommit or overcompensate or overdo something. And that's when he leaves himself wide open. And Rick Sanchez is great at doing that. Now, let me get to my point of rolling for Rick Sanchez. Rick Sanchez doesn't simply invent technology. He invents solutions to impossible problems faster than almost anyone can understand the problem itself. I don't even understand what I just said, but that's how Rick Sanchez operates. His greatest weapon, it's not his raw power, because he doesn't really have a ton of like physicality to himself, is that almost every encounter becomes a scientific puzzle that he solves super fast in real time. Now, Rick constantly carries technology on him. Like, this is what he carries around with him. And technology is capable of interdimensional travel. He's got the interdimensional travel gun. He's got instant teleportation, portal creation, consciousness transfer, cloning, nanotechnology, molecular manipulation, gravity manipulation, advanced force fields, exotic energy weapons. That's just what he has on him. He put that into his body. He's kind of like a walking cyborg. Kind of. Sometimes he isn't. Sometimes he's not. He is. Sometimes he bleeds. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes his hand folds over and something else comes out of his. We don't even know. Nothing is consistent or makes sense, but he has all this on him at all times. Unlike most fictional inventors, Rick upgrades and redesigns his arsenal almost every episode, depending on the challenge he's facing, which means he might have Toon Force of all things, right? Like Bugs Bunny does. I just don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Now, let's talk about this. So he's got some cool examples. The portal gun allows nearly instantaneous travel across infinite multiverses. Really cool. Operation Phoenix repeatedly allows Rick to return from death through clone replacement bodies. So you kill him, he's instantly back into a clone body with a complete consciousness, like nothing's happened, like literally right then and there. Rick creates microscopic civilizations solely to generate electricity for his spaceship battery. He's created like he's in this whole slave society just so because he needs someone to power the battery to his flying saucer car. Right. That's the mind of Rick Sanchez. And by the way, when Morty was like, hey, Grandpa Rick, this may not be the right thing to do. I can't even do it that well. He's like, shut up, Morty. I know what I'm doing. Like, he just he doesn't care. He's like, no, it's giving me power to my battery. And they worship me like a god. What's the problem? So he's, a little ambiguous morality wise. He casually builds neutrino bombs capable of destroying planets. His freeze rays, shrinking technology, and countless experimental weapons routinely ignore conventional physics. Again, it's just something he's like, physics are just like a suggestion that someone made. And by the way, he has no respect for whoever made that suggestion. In the end, Dr. Doom's armor is pretty much indestructible with his shields, or it's really durable. But Rick doesn't have to destroy the armor. Look, he just has to bypass physical durability by attacking biology, consciousness, dimensions, entirely changing the battlefield itself. That's a completely different type of threat that Doom usually faces. It's someone who can outdo the absurdity of what Dr. Doom can do by bringing it to Dr. Doom. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. That's my point number one.
Sanchez.
Oh my God, my mind's all over the place.
That's good. All right, well laid out first point. I just want to say that I think his drinking problem and his substance abuse issues might be coming into play here just a little bit or a lot of it.
You know what? That's low. That's low. By the way, brilliant tactic, but that's still low,
We got to
Eric.
get to it. We got to get to it. Stop.
Like, would Dr. Doom be like analyzing Rick and be like, oh, this guy has a dependency on cocaine, and he would just synthesize cocaine and like, here's a bag of coke for you, Rick Sanchez. Why don't you just stand down?
It's snowing
I don't know
again.
if I
It's
should do
snowing
this,
again.
but it does look really good. I don't know.
Right.
All right, listen. I don't know even what's happening anymore. Judge Tadeo, you've heard one point from both Eric and myself. Where's your head at so far with this battle?
I mean, I'm still trying to process all the chaos going on. I don't think it's. I mean, I thought kindergarten was wild. You know, the pre-K running around, the chaos. They have nothing on these guys. Mm-mm. Wow.
And we want to thank you for being here today.
And I'm enjoying just seeing the layers of insanity on both sides. I wonder if they're like distant cousins, if they share the same DNA of insanity. Genius and insanity. They might be related. We might have to 23andMe these guys. Is that the one that went bankrupt? I don't know. But anyways, one of these companies. Yeah.
With that being said, all right, Eric, hit us your point number 2.
So, I want to get into Dr. Doom's combat, strategy, intelligence, and, of course, his experience, which is going to be a lot of help and no problem to handle a person like Rick Sanchez. So, intelligence alone doesn't win fights. Applying intelligence under pressure does. Victor Von Doom has spent decades defeating opponents who are stronger, faster, and more powerful than he is by combining scientific genius, magical expertise, battlefield tactics, and sheer willpower, something that Rick Sanchez might not always have access to in his, nights of being a complete degenerate. Anyways, Doom isn't simply an inventor hiding in a laboratory. He is a warrior, monarch, sorcerer, engineer, and military commander. During combat, he consistently mixes sorcery, energy projection, martial arts, robotics, battlefield manipulation, psychological warfare, goes on and on into a single seamless fighting style. For a specific example, for you, a few examples, Emperor Doom has successfully conquered Earth. Infamous Iron Man demonstrates that Doom can not only replace Iron Man, but improve upon Stark's whole technology. Doom has defeated or has outmaneuvered Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, The Thing, Avengers teams, Fantastic Four teams through preparation, adaptation, and superior strategy. Closing this out for you, Rick improvises brilliantly, somehow manages to, but Doom regularly improvises against magic users, cosmic entities, time travelers, gods, and reality warpers all at once. His combat experience, I feel, operates on an entirely different scale than Rick Sanchez. And all that's my point number 2, James.
Okay, cool. So a lot of the stuff that you've just talked about, Dr. Doom has had prep time on his side to take on whatever those challenges were. Like, when you're saying like he took the Beyonder's power or did something with Galactus, whatever it is, he had time to study the situation, kind of go into it and apply his genius to take advantage of the situation. Mm-hmm. This is a random encounter, right? Dr. Doom's just kind of walking along in Latveria, getting a, Starbucks or whatever it is they do over there. And all of a sudden he's fighting Rick Sanchez, right? There's no prep time. He can prepare, but the problem is even when Dr. Doom prepares, he doesn't prepare for the scenarios where his plans go wrong, right? In his mind, his plans go really well or they go exceedingly well. He's not a contingency guy as much as he's okay, you're here. Here's how I'm going to take advantage of the situation. And the cool thing about him is that he's got such a great track record that his confidence builds. A lot of people think he's arrogant. I just think he's extremely confident because he's succeeded so many times with his plans. But that's the difference between Dr. Doom and Rick Sanchez. Dr. Doom thinks that his plans are going to work, so he operates from a position of certainty. Rick Sanchez assumes everything's going to go wrong. That's his starting point. So he thinks he's automatically going to face someone who's going to give him problems. And that's actually the start of my point number 2. Again, Rick Sanchez assumes everything will eventually go wrong. Relationships, things going between how he talks to his daughters, because he's got a clone daughter as well. Just crazy stuff, how things are, his discoveries. Everything's going to go wrong eventually because that's just how he sees the multiverse. And that's what gives him the edge here. Now, nearly every assassination attempt against Rick, because there's the Council of Ricks, which is every Rick from every different universe, and they're coming after the Rick Sanchez that we know and love because they see him as a threat. So he's got his own types of people. Like Eric, if you met yourself in another dimension, you guys would be good friends, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, not Rick Sanchez.
But
He meets someone else in a different dimension. 9 times out of 10, they're like, "Oh, kill that Rick," and they've all formed. Yeah, they're coming after him.
Give rid of that one.
It's absolutely crazy. So he's, but every time they come after him to kill him, they fail. He beats them up. He kills them. The whole thing. Rick constantly layers contingency plans within contingency plans. His cybernetic enhancements, because this is what he leans on for all this, are hidden laser weapons. So he's got lasers shooting out of him from really weird, I don't want to go into detail, sorry kids at home, that out of different parts of his body that people just wouldn't expect. That's his contingency plan. He's got combat implants. I don't even know what those are. I don't know. When I think of a combat implant, is that a peck implant? Probably a peck implant that like shoots out lasers. I don't know. It's crazy. Milk could, you're a monster. He's got internal weapon storage, defensive shielding, regeneration systems, precision targeting, and Rick's greatest combat strength is his willingness to abandon any plan instantly and invent a completely new plan on the fly that has a better chance of succeeding because it usually does. Now, in this episode is the Rick Shank Redemption sees Rick dismantle the Galactic Federation. This is like a whole, federation of planets. He manipulates governments, crashes an economy, and escapes imprisonment without winning through conventional force, right? He did it by, I think, changing the dollar to like 0. So all of a sudden the economy crashed, people die, the whole thing. He's that smart. He's like, that's all I have to do is right there. And he takes out a galactic federation. Rick routinely defeats alien armies, super soldiers, bounty hunters, alternate versions of himself, advanced civilizations, and during the Citadel storylines, he repeatedly outmaneuvers countless Ricks possessing nearly identical intelligence. This is someone who beats versions of themselves that come after him who are just as smart as him. And he's the one beating them the whole time. Dr. Doom wants to dominate the battlefield. Rick wants to redefine it. If Doom starts controlling the fight, Rick has repeatedly shown he'll simply change dimensions, alter the environment, or create an entirely different win condition, like having a planet come crashing down on himself where he has a shield before his opponent realizes what's happening. Dr. Doom is certainty. Rick Sanchez is absolute chaos. That's the only thing that's certain about him. That's my point number 2.
Whew, Rick Sanchez.
I love Rick Sanchez.
You're channeling Rick Sanchez right now.
Sometimes things don't always go the way you want. Yep.
Exactly. So he's a dynamic guy. He's an unpredictable guy. And literally the clones of Rick's, he's like, take that one out, take that one out. That's crazy in itself. The thing is, though, for every big win that he has managed to pull off, he's also had very big losses, James.
You know what? So is Dr. Doom, but I don't think he's had as many losses. But the good thing is, at least with Rick, if he has a loss, he goes to substance abuse and recovers somehow, just keeps on trucking. It's absolutely horrible. All right, Judge Tadeo, you've heard 2 points from Eric and myself. I'd love to say they're not ridiculous, but they are. Where's your head at with this battle? Who's winning this so far? Who's ahead? Or what's the other side have to do to gain the victory?
At this point, it's like Elon Musk fighting himself. It's like super genius versus super genius, richest man in the world. Get what you want, do what you want. These two folks are at that point. But Dr. Doom's, he might be arrogant and pompous, but he's taken on, if anybody who's in charge at Secret Wars. I don't know if this is 1 or 2. That's going to be tough for Rick Sanchez. Now, because he's so wild and not afraid of defeat. Maybe he can pull something out, but so far, Dr. Doom is just his levels and the magnitude of his genius kind of trumps that of Rick Sanchez.
Did I mention that Rick Sanchez has a very big substance abuse issue?
Yes.
Got it. Just wanted to make sure.
That's not in his favor at this point.
Got it.
And a cool guy, yeah, but not in the favors.
Wow, that's
For partying.
That's
and
a thing.
not getting things done.
That's true.
But we can party from time to time.
That is true.
Guilty.
All right, let's see what's about to happen here. It's now or never. Eric, here's your absolute best point number 3.
Oh, no problem, James. Up next is Dr. Doom's greatest feats and accomplishments. Few villains in comic book history possess a resume as impressive as Victor Von Doom's. Time after time, he has ascended beyond being merely Earth's greatest scientist and become one of the most powerful beings in Marvel history. In Secret Wars 2015, he steals the Beyonder's power, becomes God Emperor Doom, creates Battleworld, holds together the remnants of the multiverse, defeats Thanos, literally tears Thanos' skeleton from his body. Doom has stolen the power cosmic, Beyonder level of power, numerous mystical artifacts. His Doombots, the Doombots, are so sophisticated, they've repeatedly fooled Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four into believing they were facing the real Doom. These are just little Doombots. He has repeatedly manipulated cosmic level events affecting multiple universes. So look, Rick has accomplished incredible scientific feats somehow. Somehow. Dr. Doom has repeatedly reached genuine multiversal levels of power while battling Marvel's most dangerous cosmic beings. That resume is extraordinarily difficult to match. And all that's my point number 3, James.
All right, so here's the thing. You're talking about how he rips Thanos' skeleton out of his body. He possessed like insane, like ultimate level, God level power, but he got that being prepared for it. It wasn't like it was just regular Doctor Doom, right?
He got it done. He
did get it done, but it's through preparation. He had prep time. He knew what was happening, and he kind of positioned himself brilliantly to get it. Something that Rick Sanchez can do as well. The bottom line here is that Black Panther has a win over Doctor Doom, and this is why I love Black Panther. So in this storyline, Doctor Doom takes over all of the Wakanda's vibranium, and Black Panther's like, okay, I've got to defeat Doctor Doom. The only way I can do it, I'm going to create a new branch of science. He called it shadow physics. This is really cool. This is how nerdy I am, by the way. He's like, I'm going to combine.
This is awesome.
This is going to combine, I'm going to combine physics and alchemy or something like that. And he creates a new branch of science. He does that. He puts his hands on Doctor Doom's armor, and he says, I'm going to use your armor as a conductive device to shoot and out and amplify energy that will transform or transmute all of vibranium into iron. And Dr. Doom's like, well, if you do that, you're going to like hurt your people. And he's like, by doing that, you no longer have vibranium. I'm actually going to free my people from you. And that was a very Rick Sanchez style of way of doing it. See, Dr. Doom's, one of his big issues, he's like, they won't go to some place in fighting me that's going to hurt them to defeat me. Rick Sanchez doesn't mind dying if he hates you enough, as long as he knows you die too. Dr. Doom doesn't want to die. Rick Sanchez is like, maybe it's my time.
Oh,
yeah. So there's different motivations here. So let me get to my point number 3. Yeah, I know I'm getting deep here, right? So for my point number 3 for Rick Sanchez, let's just talk about how he reshapes the multiverse, because he reshapes the multiverse through science alone and willpower, really, just those two things. So unlike many cosmic characters like a Doctor Doom, Rick possesses they call it innate powers. Everything he accomplishes comes from his own intellect. He creates technology that allows unrestricted travel across infinite universes, plays a foundation role in the technology behind the central finite curve, which is a multiversal construct separating realities where Ricks remain the dominant intelligence. So even though these other Ricks come after him, he's like, despite that, I still want the Ricks of every universe to be the dominant intelligence. I'm going to make that a thing. And again, is that insanity, or is that kind of securing his place in the universe? It's a little bit of A, a little bit of B. He defeats the Galactic Federation, right? Take the Star Trek's Federation and give him a lot more power, and he defeated them just using a currency thing that he changed all of the dollar equals 0, right? He's like, that's all I got to do, and they just got absolutely wrecked. He escapes imprisonment by collapsing interstellar government from the inside. He routinely invents universe-ending weapons, time manipulation devices, consciousness transfer technology, clone replacement systems, reality-altering gadgets. He survives encounters against crazy godlike beings, literally gods. Zeus, this creature called the Unity, which is this massive hive mind. The presidents of the United States military, who's voiced by Keith David, who now has a spin-off series, and I couldn't be happier. Countless extra-dimensional threats. He understands how to manipulate time, not just time travel, but to manipulate time. He chooses not to go back or forward in time because he's like, I know what's going to happen. It's not going to benefit me. This is someone who's great. And here's the thing. When it comes to time travel, this is where Dr. Doom isn't as strong as Rick Sanchez. So if Dr. Doom was as great at time travel as Rick Sanchez, he would figure out how to conquer the earth. He'd overcome enemies. He'd do all this stuff. Dr. Doom's mother got killed, and he had to rescue her from hell. Right? He would have gone back in time to make sure his mom would never die. He never did any of that kind of stuff. Rick Sanchez chooses not to do it. In one cool episode, the time police come to his timeline and say something happened, and Rick knows how to outmaneuver them for the time police and gets that and destroys them in the process. When this battle happens, it's going to be a back and forth. And Dr. Doom's going to use his Doom bots where no one can tell it's not him. And Rick Sanchez is going to bring in clones of himself. By the way, you can't tell which one's the real Rick. And then as one clone gets destroyed, even if Rick's body gets destroyed, he transfers it to another clone. And Dr. Doom is like still there, but you don't even know which one it is. And then all of a sudden, Dr. Doom comes out with this universe level power, the same power he'd had to rip Thanos' skeleton out of his chest. And Rick is like, awesome, portal gun, goes to a different dimension that has a different timeline, so time moves much faster there, or slower, I should say, or faster, I'd say. And then all of a sudden, he creates another thing, goes back in time, finds Dr. Doom in Latveria, kills him as a kid, because you know that whole thing, go back in time and kill Hitler? Yeah, Rick Sanchez would do that, no problem. In the end, the ridiculousness, the Toon Force, the whole thing of like, I don't care if I live or die. By the way, you kill me, I'll come back to life right away. Something Dr. Doom doesn't have, are all the reasons Rick Sanchez beats Dr. Doom. And that's my point number 3.
Okay. So you told a story. You made up a angle, if you will, as to how your Rick Sanchez defeats Dr. Doom from your imagination. A very colorful one. Very colorful one. The thing is, something that they have in common, we were talking about differences and some, similarities. They both like to talk.
That's true. That is true.
Both of them. All right. We can agree on that. I feel that how Rick mixes his wife so much. I feel another thing with Dr. Doom is he also has the gift of gab and can, kind of be off the cuff. I feel he might bring up that, Rick Sanchez missing his wife, that he could get her back for him. I feel he can pull like that type of angle somehow. And I can see Rick Sanchez falling for something like that.
Ooh, okay. So wait, let me just understand this. You're saying like Rick Sanchez is like what? He's saying like they're talking and, because they both had a standstill, and Dr. Doom, and they both figure out each other's like kind of motivation.
Yeah. And I could see Dr. Doom offering that and manipulating him and him going for it and then taking control over the situation.
Oh, literally playing mind games to get Rick under his control. But you don't think Rick could see through that?
Not with his heavy substance abuse problems.
I don't know about that. I'm questioning that. But it doesn't matter what I think. Let's go to what our judge has to say.
Check in. First, let's check in on him, and then we'll go with him. Let's check in.
Let's check in. Judge Tadeo, you seem to be okay. All right
with this? This is a tough one. It's intriguing, but... I'm in a parallel universe of insanity at this point.
That's where we all are right now. Listen, I got to say this because this is, what the producers tell me to say. You've heard 3 points for both Eric and myself. Yes. It's time for you to make a decision. Take us through your process. Tell us a story, if you will, and tell us who wins this absolutely freakishly insane battle between Dr. Doom and Rick Sanchez.
In this episode of Who Would Win, Rick Sanchez, a genius psychopath, and Dr. Doom, another genius psychopath from the same level of insanity, are meeting on the battlefield. And at first, as always, they think to clone themselves and battle the clones. However, this negates it. This is a zero-sum game. So what happens? Rick Sanchez realizes I've got to do something out of the box. So he takes a bump of Colombian cocaine. So he gets pure cocaine. Woo! woo, like
We're going there.
People spend a lot of time in jail
Hey,
bringing
Rick
this.
Sanchez.
You know, he went straight there, and then had a conversation. Escobar has some cocaine. Then what he does is he kind of bends the timeline, breaks the rules, and realizes Dr. Doom's only weakness, his lack of mother and father. So what he does is he goes back and he replicates Dr. Doom's mother, father, and brings them to the battlefield. And Dr. Doom just begins to weep in sorrow and embrace his parents. And in this episode of Who Would Win, in the tears of Dr. Doom as he's elated to be back with his mom and dad that he couldn't even save, he is rendered weak and helpless. But also, Rick Sanchez wasn't happy there. In their warm embrace, just to rub it in, he sends over Mr. Poopy Pants, Mr. Poopy Butthole, to break up the party and hug and embrace them all. So it goes from a loving endeavor to a smelly, funky one. And in the episode, Who Would Win? Rick Sanchez, by bringing back his parents and sending a little Mr. Poopy Butthole to the scene, defeats Dr. Doom as he cries in tears of pain and anguish from seeing his parents, and also from that funk of Mr. Not Wipe His Booty Hole.
Right.
And there you have it. The craziest, most insane battle ever in Who Would Win history. And we've had a bunch of them.
We've had a lot of them.
Yes.
Thanks to us.
It's up there. We've had other ones.
That was up there. Rick Sanchez gets the victory over Dr. Doom with a side order of horrible Mr. Poopy Butthole coming in.
That's what really did it. That's how ruthless this man is. There's levels to the game.
I mean, this just makes levels. This makes so much sense. I mean, it's absolutely
Can you
horrible.
see it? But we're dealing with these.
It's a thing. All right, listen. I'm flabbergasted. I'm slightly disgusted with myself, and I'm also disgustingly flabbergasted. But more importantly, Eric, great job with Dr. Doom. I'm also surprised you didn't get the win on this one because you did really, really well. What are your thoughts on this matchup, man?
I mean, it got wild, James. It's been wild. Our judge also has a colorful match. We all do, and I can't argue against it. I knew this battle was going to take place. I knew we were going to debate, and I knew the judge was going to render the decision, and that was his decision. So I have to accept it.
You've got this look on your face of bewilderment and I don't know what just happened here. I'm questioning everything about me by being in this room. I'm right there with you, by the way. Okay, listen, Judge Theo, that was awesome. Great way to end it with Mr. Poopy Butthole coming in for the hug.
It's cold. This is a cold world.
I that was not on my bingo card. I would not have predicted that as part of the whole accompaniment of this battle. But well done. This is why you're a genius, because you kind of see outside the box and bring in the Mr. Poopy Butthole when it's necessary.
And hopefully I'm
tastefully done, by the way.
Thank you. Hopefully I'm a sane genius, a good, kind genius.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You seem like, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so please come back and bring your genius back to us.
Tadeo.
It's Tadeo. It's a thing. And until that time, tell the Legion of Audience, our fan base, where they can find you online.
Well, you can find the sane version of me at Quid Apostle. Yeah.
Very cool. I love it, Eric. I don't know whether to apologize or to celebrate, but I'm gonna cry in the fetal position for about 15 minutes.
I blame the producers.
I do too.
But they did a good job.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Hey, it's like when the kids were young and I made them wear the same Charlie Brown sweater, and then we took pictures and they're so confused when I'm laughing my ass off on the ground, going
awesome.
"Oh, this is awesome."
Yes,
I think it's the same thing. All right, so Eric, tell Legion of our fan base where they can find you.
You can find me at THE Eric with the C Holmes, HOLMES. That's my social media. Thank you for sticking with us on this one, guys.
That was good.
And girls.
I know. I'm just checking my phone. So far, no text from our sponsors yet, but the day is young.
FTC will be following up on
absolutely.
this one,
There you go.
All right. Well, listen, you can find me on X, aka Twitter and Facebook by typing in @JamesGavsie. Find me on Instagram @JamesGavsieMMA. You can also find us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Who Would Win Show. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube by going to @Who Would Win Show. Yes, that's right. Our podcast is only on YouTube. On behalf of myself, Eric Holmes, Tadeo, and the rest of the amazing Who Would Win production team, thank you once again for checking out another episode of Who Would Win. We'll see you next time.